Product pricing, not easy to do. Right off the bat, to let you know that majority of people actually do underprice their product and service. So we're going to be talking about it and spending a little time on some of the pricing methodologies that are out there, how people price their either product or service that they're selling, depending on if they're selling wholesale or retail. So we'll spend a good time in our workshop talking about product pricing. I think it's important. It's sometimes a sensitive issue, depending on people's mindsets regarding money and wealth and abundance. So we will definitely take some time to demystify a few things and hopefully learn a little bit more about how to properly price our offerings, the product or service we're offering. So the product pricing will largely depend on your business strategy. Do you sell to other businesses, so B2B, business to business, meaning wholesale, or are you selling B2C, business to consumer, or retail? Wholesale is pretty much buying directly the product, meaning product, buying directly from manufacturers and selling to retail stores. You're obviously hoping to build a long-lasting relationship with the buyers that are buying your merchandise, but you also want to build relationships with your suppliers because you want to make sure that you have access to those goods that they're selling. For wholesale, the traditional ways of doing business is trade shows, expos, and maybe new and innovative way to sell your goods on B2B basis is to implement some of the B2B online platforms. The reason why we're separating what's wholesale and what's retail so that you can see first where's your primary market and possibly where's your secondary market. Maybe it will be by implementing different strategies on how do you sell your product or service. Now that we covered wholesale strategy, this is a little bit about the retail. So retail is B2C, business to consumer, or some people say D2C, direct to consumer. So you're buying from wholesalers, we just mentioned, and you sell directly to your end user, the customer, the client. You also, if you're in a retail business, strive to meet changing demands of the market, maybe satisfying the trends. What's the newest, what's the latest and greatest in product or service. And you're definitely putting effort and emphasis on shopper experience. Everything is about making that customer happy so they come back to you to buy more products and do more business with you. So just the two very clearly different ways of doing business when it comes to either doing it directly to consumer, you're selling directly to consumer, or you're selling to other businesses. Think about where does your business fall. Maybe it's a hybrid. Maybe you're selling directly to consumer, but you also have a possibility of selling wholesale. And if you're not there yet, see how you can possibly put some strategies in place to enter those new markets because they will definitely make a difference for your revenue stream. So diversifying is always good in business. So for some of us that are in a product-based business, I wanted to give out this quick pricing formula, and it shows you a wholesale versus retail keystone pricing model. In our workshop, we're going to learn about many different pricing models and strategies, but for now, very basic evaluation. So you have a labor, right? How much does it cost to produce the widget, the item, the unit, whatever you're selling? What are materials that go into producing it? So raw materials to assemble this whole finished product is what is your cost, okay? So labor plus materials equal cost. If you double that cost, so cost times 2, you're gonna pretty much come to a wholesale price. And wholesale price is what your retailers pay. Meaning if you're selling, let's say, if you're producing hot sauces, they cost you X amount of dollars, it take X amount of time to produce, and you put, that's your cost, times 2, it's a wholesale price that maybe a buyer at Sprouts or Target or Costco is going to pay. And that retailer is going to take that wholesale price they just paid you, and they're going to double it, or maybe even 2.5, 3 times sometimes. And retail, they're going to come up with their own retail price. If they want to stay competitive, obviously they will make sure that they check the market and see that they're staying competitive on the marketplace. So in a nutshell, materials plus labor plus expenses plus profit equals wholesale times 2 equals retail. So hopefully this is a quick evaluation. We're going to dive into it a little bit deeper, obviously, on our workshops, but very, very quick snapshot of how does the pricing look like wholesale versus retail.